Okay, let's move on to the second topic for today, homonyms. What are homonyms? Homonyms are words that have same spelling, same pronunciation, but are of different meanings, particularly based on contextual usages. For instance, if I give you the word act, act means many things. The word itself has many meanings. Act can mean a deed. A deed. Act, remember those of you who read the Bible, Acts of the Apostles, the deeds of the Apostles. Now, act can also mean law, precepts. In other words, the word act has many meanings, but based on the context in which it is used, that will give us the particular meaning that it should have in a particular sentence. Okay, so let's move on to B. That will be bill. The word bill can also be law. It just passed a law, just passed a bill. And bill can be a payment. Payment for a service rendered. Bill. Yes, payment for a service rendered and so on. And the word bill can also mean to be slated for something. I've been billed to deliver this teaching. Now, let's move on to C. Court. Court. We all know that we have basketball court, a place where games are played. Court, a place where cases are listened to and are judged. Court, what a man and a lady engage in before marriage, and so on. So the word court has many meanings, and so we can conveniently say court can mean a place where a game is played, a place where a game is played. It can also mean engagement. Of a man and a lady before marriage. Before marriage. And then court, a place where cases are listened to. Ahead, let's put it that way. Okay, let's move on to D. D can say door, dog. The word door, the first thing that will come to one's mind is being unintelligent. But being dull too when something is not sharp, like a cutlass used for cutting. So dull can mean unintelligent. Unintelligent. Dull can also mean uninteresting, boring. Boring. The teacher's class was boring. Teacher's class was uninteresting. So as you can see, words that we have been given, they have several meanings. And we're moving on to the letter E. And letter E, I'm going to take egg. Egg. So how can we have many meanings for the word egg? Yes, we do. Egg can mean what we eat, edible product. Of the poultry. That's one meaning. Egg can also mean to encourage. The professor egged me on. The professor encouraged me. So, encourage. Egg can also mean to lead. To lead on. To do something. He egged me on. He encouraged me. He led me on. And so on. Now, let's move on to letter F. We can have the word feet. Feet. F-I-T. I say somebody is looking fit, strong, healthy, agile. Feet can also mean an attack. He had a fit of leprosy, and so on. So feet can mean strong, virile. Feet can also mean healthy. Some of us should pronounce this as LD. It should be healthy. And then feet, an attack or an occurrence of leprosy or these diseases. Okay? So let's move on to G. G. Let's take the word go. Go has several meanings, very many meanings, but for the sake of our time, we'll stick to two. Go can mean aim. 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 Go can also mean kind of objective. What's the difference? Objective. In a game of soccer, goal can also mean a score. Kind of score. Perhaps you should put soccer in brackets. Alright, I want to rub off before moving on to H. Take eat. The word eat means to punch. Punch. The word eat can also mean a slap. The word eat can also mean an achievement. He made a hit. Especially when you have these musicians releasing their albums. And oh, it was a hit. It was a success. So it can be a punch, a slap. It can also mean a success. It was a hit, it was a success, and so on. Okay, let's move on to I. I want to give us the word trying to look for a simple word. Let's take the word ill. Ill. When somebody is ill, person is, we are used to saying sick. I think the person that is sick has to do with being mentally improper or not healthy. So ill to me should be like a vice, ills of the society. Ill can also mean unhealthy, 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 when you are not feeling fine, when you are not feeling strong. I'm not feeling okay. So let's move on to J. J. J has many, I have many words in my thoughts. Let me give you the word jump. Jump. That can mean to leave a place. Jump, perhaps a vehicle is approaching at a top speed, so for security reason, jump. Okay? Jump can also mean to avoid. Jump the queues, like some of us do in the banks and so on. You avoid to leave where you should be. So jump can also mean when you're unsettled. It's unsettled. So unsettled. Jump can also mean to beat the law. To beat the law. Jump is also a sport. You can say jumping. Kind of sport. A kind of sport. Please do not forget that we use these words based on contextual employment. It has to do with how, a success. It was a hit, don't forget. He gave him a hit, he gave him a slap. He gave him a hit, he punched him. So depending on the context, please. Now let's move on to K. And that will be kit. Kit. Kit can mean a kind of container for keeping tools. A container for keeping tools. For keeping tools. And the word kit can also mean to dress up. Dress up. Dress up. To dress up. Okay, let's move on to L. L. Low. Let's take low. The word low can be I am not particularly happy. I'm low. And you're sad. Low can also be a place. It stays in the low. Beneath a place. Under. Low, not having enough. Is low on cash. Not having enough, not now. Not having enough. Okay, so let's take M. And we take milk. We take milk. Milk can be an edible product from some animals that we take. Milk also means to exploit. Nigerian government, I'm sorry about that, I'm sure it will be taken care of, but I believe it's milking the masses. When somebody takes another person for granted, that's milking the person, is milking him dry. So milk here can be edible product from animals. Let me just say product from animals. And milk, exploit. exploit, take for granted, and so on. Now, let's take N. N. And we'll take neat. Remember, we considered neat the other time, but that was NIT. This one is NEAT. Neat means to appear very decently looking. You appear very decent. So you can say neat means decent. Neat can also mean done with finesse. Done with finesse, with perfection. Okay, perhaps let me use perfection instead of finesse. So I won't start making you ask questions. So done with perfection, neat, very smooth. Neat can also mean smooth, no rough edge. Okay, and now we move on to O. And when you look at the word, the letter O, we can consider the word open. Open. To be open is to be sincere. To be open is to be trustworthy. So, open means sincere, trustworthy, open, not closed, like a door, not closed or allows entrance. Okay, we shall move on to P now. Now we're going to take peach. 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 The word peach has many meanings too. And the word pitch can be a field. Football pitch, football field. A place where games are played. Pitch. I want to pitch my tent with you. I want to stay with you. I want to identify with you. So pitch can also mean identify. Identify. With someone. Let me put it there. With someone. Identifying with someone. Pitch. Pitch can also mean a kind of level of sound. He said it in a high pitch, kind of voice or sound. Let's move on to letter Q. And I'm going to be taking quit. 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 Of course, some of us are familiar with quit notice. Quit notice. Now, quit here can mean stop. Quit smoking. Stop smoking. Quit. End. Discontinue. Quit can also mean to stop staying in a particular place. I'm trying to come down to your level, please. Hence my pausing or pauses. Now, we can say abdication. Abdication. Leaving a place. To stop staying in a place. Now, let's move on to letter R. R. Looking at this letter, we have many words, but let us take reap. Rip. The word rip can mean to tear something apart. You ripped it apart. So we can say tear. Rip. Rip can also mean to, I'm trying to look for an appropriate word now. Rip can also mean to divide. Tear apart, to divide, and so on. Perhaps I should add this there, the sound alike. And that's what something that we are dealing with. Reap also mean to harvest. 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 Where you have sown, I believe. Now let us move on to S. S. Okay. A word came to my mind, and that is slate. Slate. In those days when we were in primary school, we used to take slate to school. Slate can mean a wooden, smooth object on which we write. Slate. Let's say a writing material or a wooden writing material. Let me put it that way. Wooden writing material. A writing object. Or object for writing. Slate. I've been slated to appear in the embassy. I've been billed. I've been it's been slated to hold, has been planned to hold. Okay? Maybe I should not put the D there. Since this is a present tense, let's not put the D there. Excuse me. So, slate, plan, and bill to do something. Now let us move on to T. And I want to take the word teaching, which I'm actually doing now. Teaching. Teaching can also mean believe. His teachings can be very complex. His beliefs, or his belief. Teaching. To give knowledge, which is exactly what I'm doing. Give knowledge. To give knowledge. Teaching can also be a profession. A profession. And now, move on to you. You. And I want to consider the word unkempt. Unkempt. If I say the surrounding is quite unkempt, untidy. So it can be untidy, not neat, rough, very rough. And appearance too can be this. The boy is unkempt. Some of us will say unkempt. No, he's unkempt. Unkempt. Untidy, rough, dirty. Dirty. Okay, so let us move on to letter V. V. And I want to take the word virus. As you know it, virus is like a bacteria that carries disease or diseases around. Virus. So you can say disease carrying I want to say insect, disease carrying insect. I guess how to do that. Disease carrying insect. Virus. What has become a commonplace, perhaps in a society like corruption. Corruption has become a virus in the country. So, a commonplace thing. Commonplace thing. I'm going to give another V and then we'll move on. Oftentimes we hear the word vet. Vet. We use this word for a veterinary doctor. Vet. A veterinary doctor. Another word for this vet is to check, examine, vet this, check, examine, review, kind of. Now, for W, don't forget we are considering a word having many meanings. Just a word having many meanings. And here we will take letter W, and I want us to take wallop. I see this in the newspapers, especially sports newspapers. The Super Eagles were walloped. Walloped simply means defeat, beating, or beat. Wallop can also mean flog. Because he was rude to the teacher, he was walloped. He was beaten seriously. Now, let us move on to X. Let us move on to letter X. I will take X-ray. X-ray has many meanings. X-ray can be a machine that photographs inner organs of man. X-ray can also mean to make something clear. The lecturer x-rayed the complex details. So X-ray can mean a machine that photographs inner organs of both man and animal. Or let's simply say inner organs of animals. Because in biology, humans are seen as animals. Now, X-ray can also mean to make something clear. To make something clear. To make something very clear. Make something clear, detailed. Detailed. And so on. And now we are moving to Y. 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 And for Y, we are going to take Yuletide. it's common to hear people pronounce this as Yuletide. It is actually Yuletide and can be a season, and can also mean a festive period. A festive period. Remember Christmas, New Year, Yuletide seasons. And we are going to be taking Z and we'll take zeal. Zeal. Zeal can mean interest. Interest in something. Interest. Eagerness. Eagerness. Flair for something. Flair. And so on. Perhaps you'll be wondering, why are we taking this topic? Is it just to pass exam? No, not just for that. We are considering these words for societal needs, interactions, and so on. You have learned today that a word, as long as it is an English word, has more than a meaning. It can be connotative, it can also be denotative. And when you say a word is denotative, it has restricted meaning. When you say it is connotative, it has more than a meaning. Thank you so much.